Welcome, everyone. I am Dr. Dream, and you are here for a sub podcast of the It's All Good show. This is the EESystem Center owners interviews. And I love doing this. My own experience with the EESystem. I had back-to-back strokes in 2020, was barely able to use a walker. And after 2 hours inside the system at Dr. Sandra, the inventor's home, I was able to walk unassisted. I spent then a couple hundred hours in the following 2 years and had a full recovery from the strokes. And this has guided me to want to highlight EESystem and everything they're about and the centers around the world. Now, we haven't interviewed too many centers outside of the United States, so this is a very special interview. And it's special not just because this center is located outside of the United States, but as with all the interviews, the owners have taken such a responsibility in their locations, and for this one today, in their country of Greece, and playing such an important role. And I have to say that prior to turning the recording on, this owner and I have spent about the last 40 minutes just talking and connecting, and it's been a treat for me. Like I'd like to have a conversation every week with her. This is Donna Poulidis, and she is in Greece. She has 3 locations in Greece she's going to tell us about, and the name of the center is Ethéra. And I can just tell you from the experience I've had in the last 40 minutes, she is an exceptional being with energy that truly is off the charts. We connected so strongly that we had to sit and ground ourselves for a little bit before we started the actual interview. And that just means all the good stuff. Donna, welcome to the It's All Good show.
Thank you so much. What an introduction. I could cry now. Thank you so much. It's truly an honor and a blessing to be here today with you. And the conversation we had before literally lifted off. It ascended us into higher realms. And I believe that will happen through this conversation as well. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me, obviously. Now you're in Greece. I've visited Greece. It's an amazing country with such a rich history and so much, but I mean, I get the internet, the world becomes a very small place, but you're really quite far away. And EESystem based in Las Vegas, Nevada, and everything else. How did you find out about EESystem to begin your journey with this energetic?
So great question. And as your audience can hear, as everyone does when I speak to them here in Greece, is that my accent truly is Canadian. So I'll start there. I'm born to Greek immigrant parents that went to Canada in 1969. And so that's where my English comes from. I was born and raised in Toronto. And since birth, this spiritual path for me has been always. It's nothing new for me. So I would honestly say from 4 years old, and we didn't get into this yet in our previous conversation, but it all ties in. From 4 years old, I believed that I would become a doctor, and I believed I would become a singer. And so I would say I'll become a singing doctor. And the reason was, yes, and so the singing did occur, and it's on its way back. Hence our conversation about the singing bowls. And the notion of becoming a doctor, when people would ask me at 4 years old and 8 years old and 16 years old, why, the answer was always to help people heal. So simple, to help people heal. So as I grew older, and I love sharing this part of the story because it really shows all of us that your life path can seem like it's changing, but it's actually when we truly follow our soul's purpose and mission. I see it as a mission. Then we're always on the right path, no matter the detours. And so when I was in pre-med, I really suffered from anxiety and panic disorders, and it didn't fulfill, that dream of becoming a Western doctor. That model didn't happen. I went into personal training. I studied archaeology. So I actually became an archaeologist and studied anthropology and archaeology, which I loved. That was tied into my roots, the Greek lineage and being in love with what we also spoke about before, the temple spaces here and the archaeological history. And went into personal training, and for my own healing from anxiety and stress and depression, and really had an interesting journey with even suicidal tendencies. And I speak about this openly because the more I do, the more people I help to know that, we all have something, like you shared your journey, your health journey. We all have something, whether it's mental health or physical health, that we go through. And so mine was always in that, mental, emotional realm. And I healed myself then through yoga and meditation. And so I learned these techniques and taught these techniques. And so to answer your question, I've always been in that realm and teaching yoga and meditation for the last few decades. Then during COVID, doing my rapid transformational therapy training, doing master life coaching. And as I was doing those courses, a dream started to be emerging through me and drafted in my notebooks. And that was to create a healing center, which I saw being created on the island of Crete, which Dr. Sandra has a deep love and appreciation for. So as I was drafting that model of what that would look like, and I saw acres and acres of land, I saw community and homes that people would go and literally retreat for their wellness and well-being, not as a holiday, but truly as a space to regenerate and become whole again, remember their wholeness. And as I was drafting this, the viral video came into my awareness, and I saw it the same day it launched, the same moment. I was subscribed there waiting for this video to appear. And the moment I saw Dr. Sandra, I said, I know this woman. I've known this woman, and it makes me emotional every time. And she's confirmed the same. Here we go. So I have a deep love and appreciation for her. And she graced us with her presence at all three of our centers in the past September. Had a very deep connection with Crete, the island itself. A lot of memories came up for her. And so those memories are very shared between us. That was my connection to Crete. And so to kind of, because it is a bit of a long story, and it explains how one single widowed woman opens 3 centers in a country that, is not her original birthplace. And how does this all happen? This kind of connects the dots for the people watching, that it's really been kind of written in the stars that this would happen. And so instead of going into the model of the land and the communal and the outdoor retreat type of area, as I'm watching the video and connecting with Sandra and seeing the monitors and feeling the energy, a message just drops in like this. And it says, you are opening 3 centers in Greece. These are the cities, and end of story. And so the video closes. There's a call to action if you're interested. And so I email, and I didn't hear back. I kept emailing, and I was one of those 70,000, and I kept emailing and until I got a response. And so that was the end of the beginning of this journey. And so I know your next question is going to be, well, then what? Like, what's your experience, right, with the EES? So I was sold from my first feelings. I literally put in the orders for all 3 centers before trying anything. I didn't need to. Just as, people watching here, if you're just tuning in for the first time or you've never been to a center, you can feel the essence of what's happening through the systems, even online. Now it's different being in the space, but you can feel a percentage of it online. And so that was done. The deal was done. I already knew this was happening. And I had the opportunity to then, many months later, after I already applied for this opportunity, then I went to Sweden to try it for myself. And while that was happening, whereas generally I'm in perfect health and condition, at that point in time, which was now, I guess, 3 years ago, exactly 3 years ago, this month, so I went to the center in Sweden, which was also 12 units. So all of my centers are 12 units. And to me, it's kind of auspicious that the center I went to had 12. And I had a 6.5 centimeter ovarian cyst that may not sound as a huge deal. It was causing excruciating pain. And I had so I have a son, he's now 17, almost 18. I had given birth to him naturally. And when people, when I convey this story, I say the pain that this cyst was causing, it actually outweighed the, process of giving birth naturally. It was that painful. And it was, there was a possibility to rupture, to be running to the emergency room. And I'm very much a believer and a practitioner of natural health. So the last thing on my list was to do anything with regards to surgery, which of course I would have done if necessary. And so I took my measures, and I had a very beautiful open conversation with my gynecologist. And I said, let me do my stuff. Let me do my teas. Let me do my essential oils. Let me do my yoga. Let me do my stress relief. Let me do this interesting technology, and then we'll talk. So I book 2 days. I go to Sweden. I'm in this man's home I've never met before. It was one of those home centers. Lovely experience from the beginning to the end. And I get into the room, and I felt like, I know this. I get this. I understand this. And as a yogi, just as I did right before we hopped on our call, I literally was just lying on the floor. And at that point in time, I drop into a meditation, and within minutes, and your viewers should know this, I only booked 4 hours for 2 days. So 4 and 4. And by hour 3, I drop into a meditation, and I receive, as a very intuitive person and also clairvoyant, clairaudient, I receive what I saw as the cyst being removed from the body. I saw it drain. I saw it leave. It took 2 minutes. And that's it. Ever since then, I'm even in more perfect health. And I love that I had that experience because I can convey it, I can relay it, I can relay my passion for what this is doing. And I'll take it one step further, and I'm sure our conversation will go there even deeper, is the fact that I tuned in and dropped in to myself with a capital S and allowed for higher awareness and higher dimensions to work with me and through me. That because of that, in connection with what happens in this field, in this room, together allowed for this to happen within minutes and or hours.
I absolutely love your story. We talked a lot before all of this, and how nice that I'm hearing all of this part and your background for the first time. It's a beautiful progression. Think it's amazing how divinely guided you were to all of this, and then how your personal experience becoming your personal testimonial after you had already committed to these centers, but the divine perfection and all of that. Now, you opened in the first half of 2024, so we're around the 1 year anniversary, a little longer for at least one of your centers. What have you seen? I mean, here you are, you were told exactly where to put these centers and everything else, and so it would go along hand in hand that there are reasons for that. And so you've had people come in and everything. Share with us some of the testimonials and things that you've seen with your clients.
Yeah. So I must preface to say we have an amazing team. Okay, this is not a solo journey. It started off this way. And as things assembled, we have an amazing team. So be it the managers that are in the two centers in Athens and Thessaloniki, and my amazing co-founder in Crete. So I have a partner there, Vivian Caravano, who you are going to have an interview with very, very soon. So all of these amazing people that are helping facilitate this journey for people, I believe starting there before we even get into people's experiences is really important, because I'm sure other center owners have shared with you, and you've noticed this, that it's what we bring to the center. It's not just opening up and putting in the technology and off it goes. It works. We know this. And the intention, that's why I mentioned it really goes hand in hand. When we bring an intention into any practice that we do, and especially the energy enhancement system, it elevates and ascends to other degrees. So what we've seen with people, because of this love for what we do, and everyone that is on our team loves what they do in our centers, we can see really magical things happen. Let me also share that for a limited time still, because of being open for 1 year, but not only that, we are literally bringing this and breaking ground in Greece. So there are very few people that know about this, and I'm already thrilled that through referrals, we've already seen like third and fourth removed referrals, right? Like a friend, person coming, bringing a friend bringing a friend. And I'm sitting back thinking, wow, this is beautiful, organic, because that's the best way, right? Is to share through experience. And so we offer 2 hours free to every single person that comes in. And that'll be available just for a limited time still. So whenever you're watching this, just double check. But I'm sure if you mention it to us, we'll do something special for you. And so I mentioned that because we've had people literally walk in and we'll seat them for their free 2 hours. And we had one lady in specific, she really stands out to me. I wasn't here, so I don't know her full story, but she had a knee pain that was bothering her for years. And she came in within 5 minutes, the pain was gone. And she's come back since, checked in with us and said, it's still gone. Thank you so much. So that's our gift of service to people. We have then beyond this, the 2 hours free, we've had people come in, and this really touches my heart, that have been given very severe diagnoses, people that have been given months to live. And, this is very heavy, going into very heavy topics now, where these folks are now, like we said, we opened in January of 2024, and now we're in May of 2025, and we've got amazing results. Various diagnoses of cancers, and end result being almost back to normal, healthy biomarkers in blood work. And this is, a range of people, a range of different diagnoses. So we've seen beautiful, beautiful things. We've seen dogs that were paralyzed. We have one in particular, Rainbow. If anyone's following our Instagram, they see I post about Rainbow, and Rainbow was hit by a car 1 year ago, was told he'll never walk again. And we have a beautiful lady that watches, not just watches him, she has an animal rescue. She has over 30 dogs and cats. She's one of our best clients. And she brought in Rainbow not even a month, maybe a few weeks after he was hit, and had to practically drag him in. He is now hopping about. He's done 8 overnights. He loves it here. The dogs, they come in, they sleep, they rest. And Rainbow at night, I'm told he actually is awake and aware, and I feel like he's soaking in the energy. And the next day, I'm told he's really hopping around all over the place, so energized. And then he'll drop into a beautiful sleep, the 24 hours after. And so many, many beautiful and varied results.
Fabulous what you're doing there and what you're providing, and 3 locations in Greece. It's like you're anchoring this energy for an entire country. Now, I looked on the website this morning before before we started this connection, and I went to the list of services. Now, I have to say, I've been to 38 centers around the United States. I've interviewed another maybe 15 that I have never had contact with. And the centers all offer a list of services and this and that, and it's always very impressive to me what they've added to the mix. And so I thought, oh, I'm sure Donna's got some nice things on her list. I was blown away. I looked at this list, and as a theta healing practitioner myself, as a Reiki master, and all these different things, I'm like, and I kept scrolling, and it kept going, and it kept going, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I know that not everything's offered at all 3 locations, so people need to check, but you all have really brought so much together, and that's just the services. You have some other things like the infrared technology, the flotation at a couple of your centers. I mean, I just want you to talk about the list of services and then everything else.
Okay, thank you. So you remember when I told you of the original dream of the land and the space, the communal, and so on. So I started to develop a protocol back then, even before I heard about the EE system. But when that came into my awareness, and obviously I tried it, and not just tried it, like you've said, we've now spent thousands of hours in the system. I feel strange not being in one of my centers, and at least once a week I sleep in one of the centers. So it's a beautiful testament to really loving this technology. And so because of this, just as Dr. Sandra talks about the detox baths after, what's really interesting is that a lot of people in Greece don't have bathtubs anymore. A lot of the home renovations, you can imagine, most people, over 80%, are in apartments. And the style now is to renovate your apartment and put in a shower stall that is nice and sleek, but the bathtubs are gone. So one of the, in Crete, we have installed a bathtub so someone can do their detox there. In the other locations, it will be coming. And we also noticed that when we use the infrared sauna in conjunction with the EESystem, again, the results are really amplified. And I believe part of that is also because we're giving the body a lot of time to rest and relax and rejuvenate. So all of these activities together, they really help to balance the nervous system and bring us back into that mode of resting and digesting and being able to, essentially recalibrate. So I've seen a lot of benefits, huge benefits with the infrared sauna. And when I pair them together for clients, I see that people really get excited about coming back. So we love to do that. And if you went into our pricing plans, you'll see that our model is mostly based on memberships, because it's about creating community. It's about coming in often and making it a part of your lifestyle. So there's the protocol and there's the lifestyle component. We have people that just drop in for tea, even, when they don't even have a package. And it's really beautiful that people want to stay connected with what's happening here. So that's the infrared sauna. And then the flotation, we usually do that. And we have gone into deep conversation with Dr. Sandra about this too, in terms of, the body. On the one hand, we want to detox, and with the float, because it's magnesium, then we're pulling it in to the body. So we usually keep these practices separate. Someone will come in for EES and sauna on one day, and then the float will be a few days later or a week later. So we play with this protocol. The other services are, as I mentioned before, because of my background and Vivian's background, for decades, we've been in the health and wellness realm. So just between the two of us, there's about, 5 to 10 modalities, be it the rapid transformation therapy we spoke about, which is a type of hypnotherapy, be it meditation, Reiki, breath work, integrative psychology, eco-counseling, somatic work. And that's just, some of the things between Vivian and I. And then whoever we bring into the space, my two managers, for example, in Thessaloniki and Athens, they're trained in their own modalities. So there we've got the theta healing, there we've got more Reiki and pranic healing, we've got shiatsu, therapeutic massage. So you see how it adds up. And then our team, we also have other types of holistic care practitioners that is like essentially an advisory board. So when we have someone coming in, we allow for a questionnaire. And this is a protocol now that I'm getting more strict on in the coming months, where we'll do a health questionnaire with our clients. Then we'll really sit down, because what we're seeing is people are staying for many, many months at a time and doing the protocol, let's call it. So the health questionnaire helps us guide them into, okay, what else do we need to look at holistically? Because how is your nutrition? How is your home life? How is your mental state? You know, we talked about mental health before. What are the stressors that may be playing a role, so that as we look into these factors, and this is where our backgrounds in all of these wellness modalities really play a role, because then we can help facilitate an even, let's say, faster recovery rate, but also how do we pace out your journey? Um, we're also looking at a country where the base wage is very low. So it's so interesting. You've got a very small country with 3 centers, right? And very low income for a majority of the population. So how on earth does that work? And that's where this membership model comes into play. So that at least for 1 month or 3 months, people are coming in, seeing the benefits, and they can really put it into their lifestyle. And so I've seen a really nice response, especially to our level 1. And so, yeah, so that's how the modality started to add up. We are looking for more practitioners. We have therapy rooms built into each one of our centers. So the team is growing. I started to mention the advisory board. So I do have practitioners that have a connection to Greece, but don't necessarily live here. So quantum healing and homeopathy. We have ancient Greek medicine in our Athens center, and we have affiliation with a London oncologist as well, that also integrates, let's say, more coherent and alternative healing practices. So it's a big team that is from the get-go. We've all been involved with one another, and as we grow, this protocol is really finding its way.
I'm so impressed with everything that you've done, and to have had the vision and then to allow it to unfold as you receive the signs and messages, and you've just pulled it all together. And I love the concept of the advisory board and how all that works. It's really, really fabulous. I I feel like if someone is watching this and they've had a dream to visit Greece, they could do a 1 month or 2 month trip and spend a little bit of time in each of the cities that you have a center, and combine the tourism with the healing opportunity, and how cool that would be. It's just you offer so much, and your heart comes through. I'm just very empathetic. Your heart just comes through in everything, in the way that you speak about it, and I feel that. And what I know is that all of your clients, all of your members feel that also. And that is, I've said all along, a 12 unit is a 12 unit is a 12 unit. The technology is the same wherever you go. The difference is the steward of the energy, the ones holding that space. And I love how you focus on the team that you've assembled. Because 3 locations, like you can't be there at, as much as you want to clone yourself and be at each one every day, you can't do that. And so you find the right people, and it sounds like you've put all the ingredients together like a fine chef would for a wonderful meal. And just, it's like, okay, this is, all right. Um, I'm so impressed, and I look forward to coming to Greece one day. Now, we're nearing the end of our conversation, and so I want to give you the opportunity to share anything that we didn't get to touch on, or any particular philosophies you have, or anything like that, to kind of round out our discussion.
Yes. something I didn't mention, which is going to actually excite so many center owners, because I know we all love supporting one another. So a lot of people will be watching this that have a center. And I will just share a little bit, enough to get things really exciting for people. And that is, and I'm not sure if you've heard of this yet, is the Humanopathy Academy. And the Humanopathy Academy is an online academy that is essentially merging and bridging the Western medical model with all things alternative, let's say, and complementary. And this academy is going to train medical practitioners, but also certain wellness and complementary health practitioners that are certified, going to train in many modalities that essentially then creates what we're calling a humanopathic approach. And it's a project that it's not mine, but I love it so much. And I am sort of, let's say, on the advisory board of this project. And when I first heard about it a few years ago, sat for a coffee with Dr. Nikos Hatzibalasis that has created this program, I immediately said the merging of this with the EES is unbelievable. And in that coffee, I said, I know I'm going to meet Dr. Sandra one day, and I know that, this will marry so beautifully. So that is happening now behind the scenes, and we're really looking forward to all of that coming to fruition, which will greatly, like I said, it will marry so beautifully, as it does already, with our EES centers. So just stay tuned for more on that. It's a really exciting project. And people can already go and check it out at humanopathy.com, humanopathy.com. So yeah, that's exciting. And one final thought, because I'm also very touched by you and the way you operate and who you are as a person, your journey with not just the EES, but how you live and function and serve humanity. And I want to thank you for that. That's very, very important. That's the reason we're sitting here today. And I truly, truly believe, as one final message, that all of us, humans, pets, animals, all of us, plants included, we have an innate ability to be healed, and an innate ability to heal ourselves. So I feel like we are this self-healing mechanism already. And with all due respect to this technology, I feel like when we are in the right circumstances, we have the ability to self-heal. So why would I open the centers if I believe in the self-healing properties of our bodies, which I believe are these phenomenal, soft computers that can reprogram themselves and regenerate all the time? And the reason I believe that humanity needs these centers right now is because, like we said, we're in the lag time. This was the pre-recording conversation, that already we are in a magnificent state of perfect health, wellness, abundance, everything that we truly know we are as these light beings. And because I believe we already are that, in this wonderful lag time that we're living, catching up to remembering and realizing who we truly are, that's what this technology is. It's bringing us faster and closer to our truth. And so for me, it's, a way to weave into the now who we already know we are. And I hope that makes sense to people. It makes sense to me.
I want to thank you, and not just to thank you on behalf of myself and the It's All Good show. I'm going to take a step out of that. I'm going to thank you on behalf of humanity for being who you are, for shining your light, for standing in your truth and your faith, for being a energetic pillar in your country, which we know reverberates out to the entire world. You are truly making a difference, and you're an inspiration. And it's been fabulous to have you as a guest. And beyond that, it's been fabulous to establish the friendship that you and I have established today. So thank you very much. And we appreciate you. We will put links to your website and to the other website that you mentioned and anything else you want to in the description. And I look forward to meeting you in person one day.
Yes, me too. Me too. So much. Thank you.